Hello and welcome. This is Ask BQ on BloombergQuint. I am Agam Vakil. If you got questions on equity, this show is perfect for you. Send your questions to us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or WhatsApp. You can also call us on 022-4540-4141 or mail us at askBloombergQuint at bloombergquint.com. Just make sure you do add the Ask BQ hashtag. But before we get in our experts, a very quick look at the markets, which for now have recovered from day's lows, and we are looking at gains, in fact, on a lot of these stocks. The Nifty 50 is down just around 2.8%, much better off as compared to down 6% earlier in the day, as is the case for Sensex too. And I want to bring up the India Volatility Index because that may perhaps print a better picture of how things are standing right now. So as you can see, the VIX has only continued to rise, and today it's up another 14%. It's currently at 73. It's not until we see the India VIX fall quite substantially that we can take heart in the fact that we could see some amount of consolidation which could come through. For now, the India VIX continues to show us concerns, and well, we're going to have to take this one up and keep a close eye on that one. Let's move on and talk about your stocks which are also in focus and the ones which are moving quite substantially. And well, we do have in terms of gainers and losers on the NSE 500. That would give you a better picture of what's happening. So ITC is actually advancing by around 4%. To a certain extent, I suspect is this because of the fact that the company has, well, improved or rather increased its its dividend payout policy from around 70%, 69-70% as an average of the last 3 years. The board has actually suggested a payout of around 80 to 85% of the net profits as a dividend payout. And this is starting from the ongoing financial year, so that's of course always a positive. Moving on, we have Power Grid and Bharti Airtel as well, which are also advancing in trade. Indian Oil Corp, Infosys, and Ultratech Cement to a certain extent. It's after many days, we're actually seeing more than just a handful of gainers coming up. Let's talk about, your losers too. Infratel is under pressure, down 15%. Z Entertainment down 13.5%. Coal India also declining by around 11%. We have some pressure in Maruti Suzuki, M&M, and Axis Bank. But that's as far as your markets are concerned, and the benchmark specifically. I'm going to get in our experts for today. We have Ashish Kelkar of Kiran Jadhav Associates, who's joining us. And in just some time, we will also be in conversation with Sandeep Jain, or actually he is with us now, of Tradeswift Broking, to answer all your queries. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. Thanks for joining in. Ashish, I'll start with you. Let's talk about the markets now. We're seeing a little bit of, well, should I say, I can't exactly say stability because we're still seeing a decline, but these declines are not as sharp as what we have seen. We also recovered from day's lows. What's the way forward, Ashish, when it comes to the benchmarks?
Good afternoon. See, overall chart structure is completely disturbed. Currently, we have recovered around 100-120 points from the day's low. But still, this is not giving me the full confidence that, yes, the bottom has been formed. I'm expecting a high volatility in the near term. So if someone wants to invest, one can start investing, but not 100%. For example, if I want to invest 100 rupees today, I'll invest only 20 rupees out of it. So a staggered manner investment should start slowly. And traders should be very cautious because the way the index and the stocks are moving, the stop losses are triggering a lot. So very cautious approach has to be kept in the markets. And only if you are a seasoned trader, then only trade should be initiated. For index specific, as of now, I don't want to give any kind of call, either a long side or a short side. Wait and watch policy should be applied, and stock specific approach should be kept.
Okay, we get in Sandeep as well into the conversation. Sandeep, your view here at these levels, the markets in general, what's the overall picture?
See, I'll still try to stay away from the markets, and I'll actually recommend, and I have been recommending all my clients also and my followers also and the viewers also that, one should stay away from these kind of volatile markets. And when, the VIX is at around 72, 73, and that's the temperature of the market, the way whenever our body temperature is higher, we are actually staying away from going out and all. So the same thing I think I'll suggest, that one should not unnecessarily try to venture out and do some averaging, and particularly leverage position one should really avoid. No averaging, no leveraging. So I think the time is not yet right to, even do bottom fishing or start buying any kind of, stocks in these markets.
The verdict is do not do any bottom fishing at this point in time. So, well, that is the view coming in from our experts. And very quickly, let's get in, a handful of, queries coming in. I'll take a mail query right now. We have John Disa, who writes to us on email. He has 2,000 shares of Jain Irrigation bought at 61 rupees. Wants to know what to do with this one. Well, Jain Irrigation has taken quite a knock, and especially in these markets, I can't imagine. Okay, there you have it. It's trading below 4 rupees. There isn't much you can do with Jain Irrigation, but I'll still take this up with Sandeep. Sandeep, when you're stuck in something like this, and the viewer has bought, and the cost price is 61 rupees, almost all the net worth's gone. What do you suggest? What is your advice here?
You should forget these 8,000 rupees. I think, even if he sells the whole quantity, he will just recover 8,000 rupees. And I don't think, even that at 8,000 will suffice in applying for even a single IPO also. So it's now very important what kind of importance this 8,000 means to him in, his financial career or financial life. So I think he should not think about anything else. He should write off, and it should be a junk treated in the portfolio.
Okay, let's pull up Bandhan Bank. We have a question from Wealth First. Bandhan Bank was bought in at levels of 414, about 50% lost. Wants to know if he should hold or average or exit at this point in time. Ashish, what's your view here on Bandhan Bank?
See, the stock has corrected a lot from a level of around 400 and currently it is sitting at 202. So at this level, I won't advise him to exit from these levels. So definitely I would recommend him to hold on. A stop loss will be at 180 rupees on the daily closing basis. If the price goes below 180, then he should take a review and then only he should exit, because the overall chart structure suggests that after such a big fall, the shadow indicators that I follow, they are also giving me, now they have reached at the bottom level. The shadow indicators, I am not talking about the price. The shadow indicator that I am using, they have already reached at the bottom level. So here I am expecting a sideways movement. And after a sideways movement, if we get a breakout on the higher side, then definitely there is a possibility that he may recover some of his losses. So hence I am recommending him to hold on and take a review at around 180 once again.
Okay. Sandeep, I'll take this one up with you as well, because Bandhan Bank is something that we are getting more queries on from a fundamental standpoint as well. What's your view here? Because there certainly are some concerns we're starting to build around this one.
See, I think one should try to exit on bounce. Somehow, after the debacle of Yes Bank, so there will be a big, confidence crisis for all these kind of second-rung private sector banks or small finance banks. And somehow Bandhan certainly commands a good reputation as compared to lots of other these names. But still, I will not be very comfortable now holding any of these kind of banks. I will certainly go with, ICICI Bank or Axis Bank, because we have seen a correction there also. And if something has to get better, so I think ICICI Bank and Axis Bank or Kotak Bank for that matter, they will be better bets to, ride on with the recovery.
Okay. Sandeep, another question with respect to, the likes of HDFC Bank and Kotak Bank. And of course, we have seen sharp corrections in these stocks as well. We have a handful of viewers who want to know whether or not these are the levels to start nibbling into these companies. That is perhaps, if you want to partially invest, say 20 to 25% of the planned cash, would you advise them to do so, or would you ask them to wait?
I think I'll still wait, rather, because somehow till the time any clarity on the spread of corona or any vaccine coming up, so how it gets abated, fought in India, let's see how it gets spread in India. So all those things are not very clear. So I think, one should wait for some kind of nibbling also, but still between the two, Kotak or HDFC Bank, I'll still go with, HDFC Bank and HDFC Limited. And we can do some nibbling there, say 20% or so. As Ashish has rightly said, we can do some staggered buying at these points. But then, again, I'll not be very, very comfortable. And again, it has to be an extremely unwanted money whoever invests in the markets.
Okay. We have Arpit Maheshwari who wants a view on Quest Corp. Now, this one is on well, it's just falling. And in fact, it's come off from levels of 600 rupees a share. It continues to correct, and well, today it's down a lower circuit of 10%. I reckon this has been the case for quite a bit of stocks in the broader markets, and I suppose Quest Corp is no exception in this case. It has lost quite a bit. He wants a fundamental and a technical view here, so I'll take this one up. First, Ashish, to you, anything that can be done? I mean, it's in a lower circuit. I reckon the viewer is already in Quest Corp. What's the view here? Because, I mean, considering it's at a lower circuit, there isn't too much in terms of a decision to make, but exit whenever the opportunity arises?
Absolutely correct. See, basically the overall chart structure is in a downtrend, and the stock has started making lower tops and lower bottom sales 1275 rupees. And my shadow indicators has given the exit at around 1190 rupees. And after that, there is not a single buy call on this particular chart. So definitely, whenever there is a good bounce back, exit to what is recommended on technicals.
Sandeep, what about you? Your view on Quest Corp?
See, at this point of time, it's already on a circuit, and the way it is correcting, and I think, all these new initiatives or new investments, new recruitments, all these will be, or new staffing, I think they will be quite far-fetched. And I think, he can hold on to the stock. Somehow I feel that, fundamentally, yet, the numbers were very good, but now we don't know what will happen for next 2 to 3 quarters. So there is no way out just to hold on to the stock.
Okay, we have a question from ABC, and it's on ONGC. Wants to know, is it possible for it to touch its highs of 290 in the next 2 to 3 years? ONGC is currently 62. After the kind of bounce that we saw yesterday, it is once again down by as much as 8%. It's far off from around the levels of 290, 300. Sandeep, do you think there is any scope of keeping hope in this one, or do you think that just exit and move on, possibly wait for a better opportunity?
No, I don't think one should exit from ONGC at these levels, such lower levels. In fact, all these PSUs were anyways big underperformers, and then the markets have corrected so badly, and there will be some dividend yield also. So I think, holding on to the stock won't be a bad idea. But then oil and gas segment anyways are not doing well because of the tussle between Russia and the Middle East also. So I think, the only way, the wiser way is to stay put and stay invested with the stock.
Okay. We want a technical view on IndusInd Bank. We have Sagar Damani who has some shares at 400 rupees a hit and currently at 448. Should I book profit or hold on? Ashish, what's your view here on IndusInd Bank? The viewer is making about 10%.
I would recommend him to book 50% of the profits and then trail, because the stock has corrected a lot. My shadow indicator is slowly converting into a bullish mode, and it is, let me be very clear, this is extreme short-term view. So I can see the prices to test around 465 to 480 levels, which is another 5 to 7% from here on within next 2 to 3 trading session if the market supports. So definitely I would recommend him to book 50% of the profits at this level and then trail the stop loss for the target of 480.
Okay. Nandkishore has a more pointed question on HDFC Bank. Sandeep, this one is for you. He asks, is the high SME loan the reason why HDFC Bank is falling more? And what is the right level one should start SIP in HDFC Bank?
See, I think the quality of asset certainly is the best in the industry with HDFC Bank, the kind of growth they have been showing. But now again, things are totally derailed. So let's see how it goes like. But then, HDFC Bank certainly can be bought at least 20% during some few minutes back only. I told that, when some nibbling has to be done. So I think HDFC Bank is one bank and HDFC Limited. These two certainly can be looked at for some nibbling.
Okay, let's move on and talk about Shree Cement. We have a viewer called Bhanu who wants levels to get into Shree Cement at this point. Of course, it is going to enter the Nifty 52 soon. Ashish, levels to watch out for on Shree Cement, levels to enter actually?
Definitely. Currently, the stock is trading at the same levels where it has taken a support. In fact, the stock has taken the support at around 17,400. And in today's trading session, if we check, the prices went below that level but recovered very sharply. And currently, it is trading at around 18,300 level. So definitely, as I earlier told, 20% can be invested as of now, and wait for the another 80% to be invested. So what is important at this current juncture, we have to be very, very clear in money management and risk management. So if someone wants to invest 10 lakhs of rupees and invest in 10 stocks, 1 lakh for 1 rupee, so 20,000 should be bought, worth 20,000 rupees should be bought at this level. And as we get another opportunity, slowly one should start investing. So yes, go ahead and buy at the current level, 20% of the total equity.
Okay, well, let's also take up a one-year view on TCS and Infosys. It's a relatively short-term view. So I'm going to take this one up from Nagraj Kini. Ashish, can we take a technical view here? Let's start with TCS first. TCS, of course, is, well, it's seen a correction. And then if we can talk about Infosys as well, Ashish.
TCS, I am not having that much of confidence as of now, because the chart structure is not suggesting me to at least give the recommendation to buy 20%, because I can see further downside in this particular counter. The base for this particular stock would be around 1550. Currently, the stock is trading at 1622.23. I would be investing 20% of my total allocation for one stock at 1550, and then I'll start balance investment in this stock, not as of.
Okay, well, another question from Mandeep and wants to know, can I start an SIP in HDFC Life and Avenue Supermarts? Sandeep, good levels. These are stocks at least which have not fallen as drastically as the rest of the markets. I believe HDFC Life has, but not so much for Avenue Supermarts. Would you recommend the same to Mandeep?
HDFC Life still can be explored, because somehow I feel that insurance is one thing people will certainly buy when these kind of bad times and risky times are seen. So I think insurance sector might bottom out first, but then Avenue Supermart somehow fine. We are seeing good number of groups going there and holding their daily essentials and buying from there. So they are seeing good amount of buying also, and Walmart also doing well. In yesterday's market also, Walmart was doing well. So, but still, I am not very comfortable with the valuations of DMart. So somehow I never recommended this stock. It's only hold from my side, no fresh buying. But yes, when it comes to HDFC Life, one can certainly start doing some nibbling in that.
Okay. Ashish, coming on Titan, we have Chandu who's bought Titan at 988. What's your view here on Titan?
I'm sorry, at what price he has bought?
988. It's currently at 895.
Okay, I would recommend him to hold on because the current chart structure is suggesting me that there can be a bounce back. I am saying bounce back, not a trend reversal. Yes, there can be a bounce back, and currently the stock is trading at 896. The stop loss for this particular counter would be 835, and this 835 stop loss should be monitored on closing basis. My first target in this bounce back would be 950, the first target. Second target would be 990.
Okay. A question from Ishwar Patel. He has a handful of stocks. I'm going to take up just two, GMM Pfaudler and Metropolis. Sandeep, your view on both these?
Yeah, GMM is one of my favorites, in fact, but now it also could not resist the speed of the fall, so it has also gone down. So again, it's one of my favorites, so one can certainly hold on to the stock. And the second one was, sorry, I forgot the name. Yeah, again, I'm quite bullish on these diagnostic companies, and somehow Dr. Lal Pathlab and Metropolis both are good companies. And in fact, at these times, these companies might do well, but again, they are hold, no fresh buying recommended.
Okay, Sandeep, one stock which doesn't always move in tandem with the markets is Glenmark. We have Muhammad Ali who wants a view on this one. Do you think there's a possibility of further gains here? How are you viewing this one?
See, somehow I have started avoiding, tracking the stock. Somehow the kind of volatility the company shows, and then there are so many options in the pharma sector. So, when I have Abbott or Sanofi or say Pfizer in a sector, so why should I go for these kind of volatile names in the sector?
Okay, fair enough. We also have a question from Amit Kamble who wants a view on Edelweiss, which has also been under quite a bit of pressure of late along with the rest of the financial sector. And it's currently locked in a lower circuit of 10%. Ashish, any view here on Edelweiss? If you weren't in the stock, would you recommend buying at any level? If so, at what level?
No, definitely buying is not recommended in this stock. The overall chart structure is completely in the grip of bears, and the fall can be further push the prices down. So fresh buying is definitely not recommended. And if someone is holding the stock, exit is what I would recommend when there is a good bounce back.
Okay, Ashish, come in on Gujarat Gas as well. Matthews wants a view on Gujarat Gas. Can we buy at these levels? Stop loss for the next 1 week. That's the horizon here.
Okay, definitely. Buy from my side. Currently, the stock is trading at 234. My stop loss for this particular stock would be around 217 on a closing basis. And the first target is 248. Second target would be 252.
Okay, long-term view on SBI cards, Sandeep. I'm sure many will have this query as well. This one is from Krish. What is your long-term view?
See, somehow, at these valuations, in fact, I recommended this stock to subscribe for because there were very good grey market premiums. And when we see all these websites of showing grey market premiums, then 4,400 was the highest, and then it came down to 1,100. And to its bad luck, it got listed on a very bad day, but still, it gave a chance to get an exit at 755. So in such bad markets also, even this stock is actually taking a good support, and good exit has been given to the investors. But still, I won't recommend it for long-term buying, because now I have lots of other options where, I will suggest a buying. If I can buy HDFC or HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, so why should I will unnecessarily go for an expensive stock?
Fair enough. We've spoken about GMM Pfaudler on a fundamental level. Let's take a technical check as well. We have Mihir Joshi who wants a technical view on GMM Pfaudler. Ashish, for you?
The chart structure is disturbed. Definitely not a fresh buying is recommended, but someone is holding, definitely hold on. I agree with Sandeep's view as well, because the chart structure which is forming today, it is making the spinning top, which is the neutral candlestick pattern formation as of now. So definitely hold on with a strict stop loss. The stop loss should be at a day's low, which is 1817, and hold on to the stock. The one or 2 weeks view, if the overall market remains in a sideways movement, then definitely the first target would be 2120.
Another interesting question, I reckon, comes from Hemant Agarwal. It's on Manappuram. Sandeep, what would you do with something like a Muthoot or a Manappuram Finance, given gold prices and the current scenario in the financial sector?
See, all these NBFCs will have tough days in, next 2 to 3 months. Somehow I feel that, the way the coronavirus is going to spread in India, and yet we have to see that. And I feel that, at these times, all these NBFCs and banks will stop disbursing, and their EMI payments will also be, getting disturbed. So I feel that, one should be very, very conservative while investing in these kind of stocks. And then the gold has actually corrected also. But then Muthoot Finance and Manappuram Finance, these are one of my favorite companies on the stock markets. And I feel that, I started recommending Manappuram Finance from 20 levels to 20 levels, and it saw around 150 plus levels. Again, it has corrected. So there are some mouth-watering levels because the company grows at 50% plus CAGR. So I think one should wait and watch, and one should still try to do some bottom fishing at lower levels, say maybe 48 to 50 levels one can look at.
Okay. Do you find any value in rain industries at these levels, Sandeep? We have a question from Suman Dasgupta.
No, I don't think so, because now I have lots of other options. So I will go for some other companies in this particular segment if I have to buy any chemical stock or a cement stock. So there are some other options which I'll look for.
Okay. A technical view on Bajaj Finance. This one is from Harsh Jethani. Ashish, this one is for you.
Definitely, the stock has recovered. The stock, basically, the stock has the strength. It has already corrected from a level of around 5,000 rupees to a level of 2,515 today's trading session. It has recovered a lot. Definitely, that shows there is an undercurrent. But fresh buying is not recommended as of now. If someone is holding the stock, definitely hold. And if someone wants to enter into this stock, as discussed earlier, 20% at current level, but not 100%.
Ashish, if you could also come in on Chambal Fertilizers. We have a question from Gaurav. How are you assessing Chambal Fertilizers?
See, the overall chart structure was good, but it has just, in last two trading session, it has broken out of the very important support level of 117. And after the after the breakdown of 117, the stock is now trading at around 105 level. So till the time the stock is below 117, my view is bearish on this particular counter. If someone wants to enter into this counter, watch out for 117 levels. If the price goes above 117 levels, then only the fresh entry is recommended. As of now, hold on with a strict stop loss of the important level for this particular counter, which is around 99 rupees.
Okay, guys, we are out of time on the show, so I'm going to take a moment to thank both our experts, Ashish and Sandeep, for helping our viewers with their queries. Remember, we're just a tweet, a post, or a call away, so keep your queries coming, and we promise to address as many of them through the course of our shows. On that note, it's a wrap on this edition of Ask PQ. Stay tuned to BloombergQuint for more news and updates.